New alarming reports reveal deepening turmoil at the Pentagon under Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Politico reporting Hegseth's chief of staff will soon step down, and that 3 other top officials were put on leave and then fired over their role in the Signal chat scandal. In a Washington Post report, the 3 officials claim they were never told what they were investigated for or if there was even a real investigation of leaks to begin with. Joining us now is former Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh. Sabrina, thanks for joining us. And, you know, Hegseth's already shorthanded leadership team is now without 4 of the senior officials I was just describing. He also oversaw the removal of almost a dozen senior military leaders, including the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Is this normal new chief, new team, or is there a plus in this? And what is that plus?
Well, I mean, quite frankly, no, nothing about this is normal. You don't see an immediate purge of your senior leadership that you have not only elected to be around you, but appointed yourself as a Secretary of Defense. So, again, what's being reported, too, is that these individuals were fired because of unauthorized disclosures, whether that be to the press or elsewhere. And what's ironic here is that the Secretary of Defense, the person who leads, our men and women in uniform and our civilians, also put unauthorized, classified information into a commercial texting app, and yet there have been no consequences for him. He has not been held responsible. He hasn't even, gone before Congress to explain his behavior. So, of course, different circumstances for different people, but nothing about this is normal. And I think, Congress and others should really look into, not only the firings of these individuals, but also, of course, looking into Pete Hegseth.
Let's dig a little deeper here, Sabrina. The 3 fired officials, they're claiming that unnamed Pentagon officials slandered their character with baseless attacks, their words. They also say they don't know if there is still an active investigation into the Signal leak. When we think of the Pentagon, and you know this culture better than I do, we're thinking of decorum, rank and file, and process and structure. This doesn't seem to be the case, at least based on what they are saying.
Yeah, and the Pentagon is an organization that certainly not only thrives on structure and order, but there is due process. And that's the case usually with any organization or agency. So to see these firings and, to have these individuals speak out and actually say, we have no idea why we were removed from our jobs, either means that there hasn't been an official investigation launched into their removings, or they're just not aware of it. And both are a bit concerning because, even if they did disclose classified, unauthorized information, that is a problem. That does warrant an investigation, but they also should be made aware of that as well.
Sabrina, when you look at these pictures of the Pentagon, it reminds us clearly of the complexity here, as well as the number of people that you've probably interfaced with over your career. Have you spoken to any of them recently, and what have they said about this potential idea that there's concern about efficiency and, of course, the defense of the United States of America?
The people that I still speak to are focused on the job, but they're focused on keeping our country safe. They're focused on their mission. And we have amazing people in uniform serving every single day, not just at the Pentagon, but all around the world, and the civilians and their counterparts as well. They are really keeping our country safe every single day. And I, truly applaud them for continuing to stay the course with the mission. They have done that under Democrats, Republicans in office. That's what they're there to do. They're there to serve, and they're going to continue to do that every single day.
Yes, absolutely. A salute to those who are career workers there in the Pentagon. Sabrina, I want to move to this that you've been watching as well. President Trump saying that negotiations between Ukraine and Russia, that they might be coming to a head. And they insisted that neither side is playing him at the moment in his push to try to end the war. And his comments come shortly after Secretary of State Marco Rubio was warning that the U.S. may move on from trying to secure a peace deal if there is no progress in the coming days. Is it really the coming days, you think, here? And what might be then the next steps if they're saying, done with this effort, we're going to move on to the next thing? What's that next thing?
Well, the administration continues to move the goalposts, and it really does lend itself into Russia's favor. I mean, you had the president before he assumed office saying, on the campaign trail that he would end the war day one. clearly diplomacy takes a lot of time. It's a lot harder than you would think. And every step of the way, Russia has proven to be, quite unserious about its efforts in coming to the table. I mean, this administration did propose a 30-day ceasefire back in March, and Ukraine took that. Ukraine said it would abide by that ceasefire. And then it moved to energy and infrastructure. And yet again, you saw Russia hitting, civilian infrastructure, hospitals, apartment buildings. So they're not serious about these negotiations. And every time this administration, negotiates in public, whether it be Steve Witkoff or Marco Rubio, they are playing to Russia's hand.
All right, Sabrina Singh, MSNBC contributor, thank you so much for your comments today.